Today is Monday, December 5th, and guess what that means? It's time for the CFP College Football Playoff Reaction Show. Final results came out yesterday, and I am so excited to talk about it. I have to do 3 shows at once. Today is the day. Hi, I'm Braden Slater, and I am so excited to do this show today. I got a great show for you here today. I got the CFP reaction show, like I said before, I gotta get started. I got a quick debate, my rant, my Slate Report podcast coming up at the end of the show. Then I'm gonna take a brief, 5-minute intermission around that time and do Down and Distant live. So, Down and Distant will actually not be at 6 o'clock tonight. It's going to be live during this show and possibly a debating probably close to 1:30 or 1:45-ish. That's what I'm predicting. Don't cut me out there. And this is live. I am live, my mic is live, and I am so excited to do this here on YouTube. You're going to hear my live reaction. This is live, and this is actually the second time I've been live where the audio is not pre-recorded. So, technical difficulties is very possible. So, that happens, bear with me, and I am ready to get this started. Let's kick it off with our game of the week, the Big 12, K-State TCU. Boy, was that a game. It went to overtime. Yep, you see it right there. Kansas State won 31-28. Boy, was that a game. I'll tell you that. I want to say that TCU should have won that game. No doubt about that. There's no question TCU should have won that game. My question is, and I'll show it to you in just a minute, but, TCU, how do you lose that game in overtime? I mean, and main thing is, TCU had multiple chances to win that game. Yeah, I think the officials called the game. I hate it when the officials called the game. You know, when it's a bad call and it ended the game in a situation like this. I'll show that in just a minute. But I want to talk about how in the world did, some people can say, yeah, the officials made Kansas State win and the Big 12 blow it. Here's my rant for this game. Now, I think I've said this on American Game Day last Saturday. TCU, no matter what the result of this game is, TCU's in the playoffs. But I stand corrected. I mean, the only reason why I see TCU would be out of the playoffs is if they get destroyed in this game. They didn't. I mean, for the first half, I would say, yeah, possibly lose that, but they're TCU. They do what they always do. They come right back, marching into the game, and made it close, sent it to overtime. That's just what you want to see a playoff team do. But here's the reason why I think that they should be left out of the playoffs. They had multiple chances to win that game. Your quarterback looked like he had a Heisman game, putting it all out for his teammates. Putting everything out on the line. It looked like he was dying after every play. He was so out of energy. That how in that 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, why not put it in the hands of your star quarterback? I mean, 3rd and goal. That was a great play. I actually liked it. I actually said they're going to be expecting him to take it himself. Hand it out to the running back and have him jump over the line. Exactly what they did. Except for, I thought it was a touchdown. The whole world thought it was a touchdown. The officials didn't think so. Alright. So he didn't get it. 4th and goal. That's when I said, alright. Just take it. Have him take it himself. Have him under center and have the The fullback push him in. Running back push him in. Everyone push him in. All right, win that game right there, then and there. Didn't happen. I don't know. That game should have went to double overtime. I don't know why. So, and here's the reason why TCU is. Yeah, I'll talk about the playoffs here in a minute. But I mean, we've all seen the playoffs already, so we all know what the playoffs look like. We all know TCU's in the playoffs. No doubt about that. We saw that. But the only reason why they are still in it and still did not move despite a game they should have won in this game, yeah, they went to overtime and lost their first game of the season. It's a bonus game, but still, they should have won this game. That's something you don't want to see a playoff team do. So, there's my point. If there were ever, like, let's say, Ohio State's the only other one-loss team out there. Now TCU joins them. And there's 2 undefeated teams. Easy. Obviously, Georgia, Michigan, 2 best teams in college football. Next up, TCU, Ohio State, 4-team playoff. Boom. We already know coming into yesterday who the 4 teams were going to be. The question was going to be Alabama. The media hyped up Alabama so much, thinking that they would put Alabama over Ohio State. Or some people probably thought, oh, Ohio State's definitely in. Some people probably thinking, is Alabama going to jump TCU? Probably not. I didn't think so. I just do not get the media on that. At all. So, yeah. That's my rant on that. If there were, let's say that, because Alabama, Tennessee, Penn State, all the other teams that are behind TCU and Ohio State, if they didn't have the 2 losses and they had 1 losses, 100% they would have put them over TCU if there was another 1-loss team out there. I'll talk more about the playoffs here coming up. Let's talk about some more headlines for you. All right, got some headlines, a couple of them, a couple key ones I want to get on out there. NC State quarterback is entering the transfer portal. Yep. You see that right there? He's in the transfer portal. Yep. Bye-bye, NC State. Go back to that graphic. Yeah, the transport portal. I want to talk about. I'm just now coming up with it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a Slave Report podcast next week. If I am, the topic is gonna be a transport portal because a lot of players are transferring, entering the portal, and I got a big debate on that. All right, now on to the graphic you just saw. Colorado find their new head coach. Yep. Jackson State is who they're hiring. Deion Sanders, he's going to be quite a coach there in Colorado. I cannot wait to see that game. That's going to be a really, really good team to watch here in about 3 years. I give them about 3 years until Colorado starts competitive in the Pac-12. Yep, all right. On the recap, the Big Ten Championship game. This one, I expect it to be a disappointing game. I really think that Michigan would have had this game won in the first quarter. They did, but they let Purdue kept fighting back into it for some reason. I honestly thought that anytime, there goes Michigan, they score, finally it took over, and then Purdue comes down and answers back. Michigan, they won 43-22, but yeah, Purdue, they're an 8-14. Well, now they're 8-5. Yeah, they're now officially a 5-loss team. And Michigan, they had a tough time. I'll say this: it wasn't Michigan's best game. And in the Big Ten, the game where it matters the most, where all you have to do win this game, you're 100% in the playoff. Chaos happens. It does. It's college football. Chaos happens. Even if they say, you lose this game, you're still in. Well, chaos happens. TCU lost. They're still saying that, they lose. They're still in. it got a debate last night. On the TCU was in a discussion of being left out. But they're in. Anyway, yeah, moving on. LSU, Georgia. I gotta say once again, yeah, I guess going undefeated is a hard thing to do. I get it. Georgia looked like they easily, in the first quarter, had this game won. But, now I get that it was the fourth quarter, but LSU made a comeback. Yeah, do you see that? Yeah, Georgia won 20 points. That's a big win. They scored 50 points in the SEC championship against LSU. That is huge. That will get you in the playoff. But what I don't like is Georgia is the best defensive team in college football, and LSU scored 30 points on you. And I don't really think LSU has that great of an offense. So, that's my question right there. Georgia really did not look like the number one team right there. And Michigan didn't either. To me, honestly, no one deserves the trophy. No one deserves a playoff spot to me. Based on what I've seen this year, this is probably the most chaotic college football season I've ever seen. No one seems to be wanting the trophy. No one seems to wanting that fourth spot. Top teams do not seem to be wanting that trophy. UCF, I really thought that they were going to win that game. Well, big upset. Tulane, Tulane the higher seed. I guess in my book, it's an upset, but I guess Tulane did win. They're the higher seed, 45-28. Boy, was that a game. Clemson, North Carolina, ACC Championship. That was quite a game. I'll say this. If Clemson started their backup at the start of the season, Clemson would be in the playoffs right now. Oh my goodness. Right now, okay, so if Clemson looks like that, because they put their backup quarterback, Clemson put their backup quarterback in the third possession. 5 straight touchdowns. We're 5-5 for touchdown. Holy cow, what an offense. And North Carolina's got a quite a defensive offense too. Clemson only allowed 10 points in North Carolina. That's a playoff team right there. Yeah, they deserved that win. Clemson, I don't know where Clemson's been all year, but they showed up the ACC Championship. And if they look like that the whole year around and went undefeated, they'd be number one right now. Clemson is number one in my books right now. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, if Clemson has hardly any roster changes for next year, if all their players that, were the star in that game are all coming back next year and starting, Clemson's number one. No doubt about that. No question asked. I don't even care. I guess I do kind of care about how they play against Tennessee, but wow. If Clemson plays like that again against Tennessee, no doubt about that, Clemson is going to be number one next year. And Clemson is right back in the playoff next year. I'll say that. They started him earlier. Alright, Sunbelt. What kind of got out of hand? Troy won 45-26. That was quite a ball game for Troy. And Troy really hasn't been talked about much this year. I've only seen one Coastal Carolina game, and they lost. They didn't look that great. But I've heard great things about them. I've had them in my rankings a couple times this year. Troy, how did he see a single game? Didn't even know that they were gonna have a chance at the Sun Belt until 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Until the week before they got a bid to go to the Sun Belt, and they won the Sun Belt. Congratulations. And I got breaking news for you. Breaking news. Transport portal news. I'll probably have a graphic here in a minute for down distance. But DJ Aguilera officially entered the transport portal after he was benched in the ACC title game. What a perfect... If that was breaking news, if I got that breaking news about maybe a minute ago, that would have been perfect timing right when I was talking about it. But I mean, I still got the graphic up, so you can't time that better. I mean, wow. I'm gonna get when I get a break here in a minute here later on here about soon in between shows. Live shows, I've got a big graphic for that and talk more about that on Down Distance. But wow, yeah, I'm a lone wolf on this show right now. So not only am I producing, writing the graphic, making the graphic, yeah. If I had someone to make the graphics for me right now, I would have them make the graphic real quick, and I'll talk more and more about that. But wow, I'm not surprised about that at all. Yeah, but yeah, Troy. 45 to 26. That was quite an impressive win. To the pack we go! Utah! USC! I've been hyping up this game all week long. Game to watch. Utah showed up. It's hard to beat the same team twice in one season. Utah did that in style. Utah's got Lincoln Riley figured out. And I gotta say, I'm amazed. 47 to 24. Not only did they shut down Lincoln Riley's offense, well, I mean, I'm not surprised you put up nearly almost half a hundred on their defense, but wow. That gotta be Lincoln Riley's lowest scoring offense I've seen the last couple years. Wow. That's amazing. Congratulations, Utah. Utah's actually playing Penn State in the Rose Bowl. Yeah, Utah is going to the second straight Rose Bowl. Congratulations, Utah. That was quite a win. More big games to talk about. North Texas did not play very good. UTSA got an easy win. 48 to 27. Toledo, Ohio, quite a boring game, low-scoring game. Toledo got that 17 to 7. Once again, I felt like an upset. I thought Ohio was gonna have a chance to win that game. Also, there's a funny poster someone holding up, funny sign. Ohio was the only school to play that Saturday. Making a joke about Ohio State not being in their conference championship. Anyway, Fresno State pulled up a big win against Boise State on the road. Yeah, Boise State was home. I think, if I remember this correctly, the MAC plays at the higher ranked, or really the best record team at home. So Boise State was home. They lost 28 to 16. Yeah, that blue field, quite crazy. Also, I know this is a makeup game due to weather earlier, so this isn't a conference game. But Akron nearly took down Buffalo. Akron only got 2 wins the year. Buffalo had to win this game, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But Buffalo won 23 to 22, and guess what that means? They're going bowling! Yep, Buffalo, once again, is the next team, and I gotta mess up my graphic. It's supposed to have their full name, Buffalo, but I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, yeah, Buffalo is going bowling. Yep, the last and final team to go to the bowl game. And we got our bowl season set. And later on, next week, we'll be talking down and breaking down every single bowl game. Once you have a chance to, get all the bowl games are set right now. I've gone through most of them, of course, all the big ones, of course. I still haven't picked who's going to win each game. I need to go over and get it like an injury update on some of them, wait and see who's going to, just option out and go get ready for the NFL, and, we'll have all those. And then I had to figure out, all right, who's going to show up, who's going to not, who's looking for revenge, or, maybe it's a new matchup of teams that never played each other. It's been a long time they see each other. New rivals that haven't seen each other in a long time after one of them moved conferences. Hint, hint, Kansas, Arkansas. Yep. I got a lot of breaking down to do coming up next week. But yeah, Buffalo is bowl eligible. And now time for my new favorite segment, live on YouTube. It's the Twitter Picks the Week. And I don't know if you heard this non-content college football. Hit a really great Twitter account. If something crazy happens in a football game, they are for sure the ones to find it. All right, and not all of these tweets are gonna be from them, but if it's not from them, I'll say no was who it was from. But yeah, like this first one was from Reddit college football. But yeah, here is the Kansas State TCU game. Yeah. Once again, the Big 12 game comes down inches. I'm calling it I am nicknaming the Big 12 championship game the game of inches because, you can see from that first shot that's how close it was. Here, I can zoom in for you on it. Yeah, see that close. Unbelievable, that close. Once again, just like last year, Baylor, OSU. Baylor got a great defensive stop right at the goal line. Just pushed it right out of bounds. Elbows down, inches from it. But also, if you see from the spot, if I can zoom back out a little bit, as you can see the right frame a little better. Here, sorry. You can see that, yeah, it was a bad spot. I really think it should have been closer. I don't. They reviewed it. It was a long review, and I'm sure y'all have seen that one. But wow, I just do not get that at all. Well, what's the point of reviewing? I mean, I guess because they initially called it there. Either when you reviewed it to see it's a touchdown or not. But what's the point of a review if you can't get it right in the first place? I don't get that at all. Also, yeah, Sky Camera. This is 3rd and goal. Yeah, 3rd and goal for TCU overtime. And my graphics messed up, and well, let me zoom in. I guess any further. I'm kind of mad about that. Why is it not letting me do it? Anyway, yeah. Technical difficulties, of course. But yeah, if I were able to zoom in, you would see real closely that, yeah, he reached across the goal line. The ball is obviously across the white line. But you need to understand that the Sky Camera looks like it's about over the 3 or 4 yard line. So it's not directly over. But to me, I obviously think it's enough where the ball's past the white line where I would call that a touchdown. And you can see, look at his knees. You can't even, you probably can't, I'm trying to point at my monitor and you can't even see it, but yeah, look at his knees. I mean, it's really hard to tell. I mean, I guess his knees down right there, but honestly, if his knee's down right there, he's in. I mean, yeah, he lost the ball too, but there's no shot to see. They didn't even review it. The rule is you can't review when a player's injured on the ground. So there's I don't remember, I think it was a K-State lineman down on the ground for a while, took a whole commercial break. They came back, and the announcer said that Chris Fowler said that they didn't even look at it. They didn't even review it. This is the only camera angle that they really shot. I'm really upset about that. How do you not call that a touchdown? I get it. Initial call. Short. This is what replay's for. Take a look at it. You got 100 cameras down there. Okay, so how is it possible that, this one, you call it that short? You got a camera. Where's this camera? I want to see this camera angle, the left camera angle for this play. Or maybe on the other, because it was on the other side. I want to see the camera angle on the right side of the field. There's obviously, I know there's a goalpost line there. That's obviously, I want to see, is that a touchdown or not? And then, like, sync the two piloting cameras up. One side would tell if the football's in or not. The other side would see if his knee's down. Sync them two up. Even have this one help, because this wouldn't even help. Yeah, I think he's in the end zone. Now the question is, do you lose the ball? We don't even know. My initial call is a touchdown. I'm not changing that call unless I see confirmed that he was down before he crossed the line or he fumbled it before he went down. That's the question too. I'm surprised Kansas State didn't challenge that. Oh, well, I mean, of course, we have no idea who recovered it, but yeah, they didn't even show who recovered it. But quite possible that was a fumble. Yeah, no review on a fumble. Are you kidding me? I'm completely over it. Jumping over it. I'm upset. Looking over some more crazy tweets. All right, yeah. You can see, this is during the ranking show, the selection day show, and they were at their anchor, him. He was getting Michigan point of view, their big win over Purdue, win the trophy. And you see that guy in the background? Yeah, he's taking a big mouth out of the football trophy as he looks at the camera. You can see his eyes. He's looking at the camera. That's hilarious. Or he kissed it or something. Also, yeah, Michigan. Yeah. Look at that right there. They're going for 2. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Fine with that. Yeah, in big bowl game, you want to make sure you win. They're up 34-19. Okay, yeah, but fourth quarter. I get that. Fourth quarter, 9 minutes left. Go for 2. But they're at 34-19. And yet, Purdue still like they were in this game. Michigan, to me, it didn't feel like Michigan pulled away from this game. I felt like Purdue was hanging in, barely. I felt like Purdue was hanging in. To me, it wasn't a blowout. To me, Purdue showed up. They really did. And I just do not get that 2-point conversion at all. But, yeah, after Michigan won, yeah, they hand out this sign. You can see it right there. And there's like, I'm sure someone was like, here, you want to hold up the Big Ten sign? We won. It's like, sure, I'll go ahead and hold it up. Without even looking. He's holding it up upside down. What in the world? How stupid can you be? At least when you are handed the sign, at least make sure before you hold it up, you're holding it up correctly. At least someone down below to the bottom left is holding it up correctly. But I'm so confused. I'm getting to that. And look at that guy trying to clap right in front. He's like, yeah, he doesn't even notice. No one even notices that it's upside down. And then, yeah, I think all of these are... Why are all these Michigan? I just noticed that all of these are Michigan. Why? Well, why am I doing... Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a Twitter pick of the week or whatever for next week live show. Every pick of the week for, 1 week is, everyone is from the Michigan game, Michigan-Purdue. Well, and they're all about Michigan. But, Fox had their ref cam, and, the conversation with Jim Harbaugh, and, that's quite a view. Yeah. I actually want to see more of this. ESPN used to do a ref cam. They did that for 1 year and then got rid of it. Fox has been doing it for a while now, and I gotta say I like it. They don't use it very much, but when they do, it's awesome. It's quite rewarding. All right. Let's jump in to my playoff predictions, and then we're going to jump into the actual rankings. So, all right, bear with me. Yes, this is my prediction. I came out with this before Sunday's review. I released this late Saturday night, or if you didn't stick around that late, you probably likely saw it early Sunday morning. Anyway, I did this before it came out. You can see it right there. I got the matchups right. It's the placement I got wrong. Now, here's the thing. I already knew who the top 4 were. I already knew the matchup. I actually already knew where they were going to be. But I just have more. I just really felt that Michigan deserved the 1 spot. Also, TCU lost. Yeah, so they still keep in the playoffs. Just put them at 4. But still, I really think that Michigan, TCU, deserved the spot. Now, I know the head chairman says that they didn't even discuss. I don't even believe this. They said, we didn't even discuss. We didn't acknowledge that, potentially Michigan and Ohio State could play each other semifinals. I get it. Just say that, I'm perfectly fine with it. Just say we don't want that matchup on the first playoff game, after they just played them. Fine with me. I'm cool with that. But I want to say that if you're gonna do that, then why not just have Georgia at 1, Michigan 2, Ohio State 3, TCU 4. I don't get it at all. But I also think that Michigan... So, yeah, I did get the matchup right. But here's the thing. Number 1 team gets to pick the location between the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl. Georgia, obviously, they're going to pick Atlanta, the Peach Bowl. So, Michigan TCU will get the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. So, but my question is, Michigan, I think Michigan would still pick the Peach Bowl, which I think a big difference. Georgia's got to travel a lot, but I still think Michigan deserved that 1 spot. They've been number 1 the last 2 weeks, and the way they beat Ohio State, they deserve it. Also, TCU, they had multiple chances to win that game. They need a draw. Ohio State, yeah, they got destroyed to Michigan, but it was Michigan they played. Yeah, I know it was at home, but it was Michigan. They deserve the credit. Michigan destroyed Ohio State. It was also in the playoffs. Give them number 1. I just don't get it. Also, the way Clemson played North Carolina, I'm at 5. Yeah, I have Clemson at 5. I honestly really thought I was actually... You wouldn't know how close I almost put Clemson in the playoff. I almost dropped TCU out of the playoff and put Clemson in. Also, Penn State had a great debate. I did not... For all you Alabama fans and all you media that loved Alabama, I would not consider Alabama to make the playoff at all. If there were going to be... The Penn State, honestly to me, they lost to Michigan and Ohio State. Those are their only losses. They're in the playoff. Alabama lost to Tennessee. LSU. Not in the playoffs. Penn State, to me, got the better resume. If they are going to put Alabama in the playoff, Penn State needs to go ahead of them. Clemson. I think they also have, let me pull this up real quick. Because I could pull up my, my ranking. Yeah, that's my top 10 right there. Clemson, yeah, they're 11-2. Also, Clemson, if they played like that all season, Clemson's the best 2-loss team right now. Not Alabama. The way they played North Carolina there. I honestly really think that Clemson deserved the playoff spot if a 2-loss team were to go to the playoffs. That's my point. All right, now time for the official playoffs. Here it is. Georgia won. They're playing Ohio State. It's 4. Peach Bowl, I already told you that. Michigan is 2. TCU is 3. Fiesta Bowl, right there. I'm honestly not shocked at all. Alabama is 5. I'm not shocked. Their logo, obviously. They're always going to find a way to put Alabama in, if they can. The one that surprised me the most is Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee beat Alabama. If they still had Hendon Hooker, they would be ahead of Alabama, but they don't. What I think is Tennessee doesn't have Hendon Hooker anymore. They lost the game without him. Now I do know they won like 56-0 against their last game, but that was Vanderbilt, so that doesn't count. So there are better 2-loss teams than aren't Tennessee. Does Tennessee now have 3 losses? No, they have 2 losses. There are a lot better 2-loss teams than Tennessee. Penn State, yeah. That's all I gotta say about this. Yeah, here's the bracket for you. The Peach Bowl are both these playoff games December 31st, 7 o'clock. ESPN, the Peach Bowl. The Fiesta Bowl, 3 o'clock on ESPN. National Championship is January 9th at 6:30. Of course, all of them are going to be on the ESPN network. But there is your playoffs right there. And I gotta say, after a crazy, chaotic college football season, I gotta say, and a very dramatic end to the season. Obvious top 4. No drama Sunday at all. The media just hyped up Alabama just because they're Alabama. That's it. If Alabama weren't Alabama, or if they didn't have Nick Saban, no one had to. They just want to drive drama for no reason at all. I just do not understand why. I get it. You want to build up drama, make it suspenseful, but it was completely obvious who the 4 teams are going to be. It's obviously the 2 undefeated teams and the 2 win-loss teams in. No question about that. The question is, which one are they going to play? Well, it's obvious. I know they did say that. They don't want a Ohio State and Michigan rematch, but it was pretty obvious no one wanted that again. Honestly. We'll probably definitely see Ohio State show up, but may not even win that game. Maybe they'll play each other in the championship. We'll get that. But, we already know that it's very likely we'll have Georgia, Ohio State, and Michigan, and TCU. I'm upset. No drama. After what a crazy year it was, no drama. Why? I want the drama! I want it to be like, yeah... The Slushy Biddy, I should be on that team. A couch coach could have done that. The only risk they took all year is putting Tennessee at 1, and it didn't work out for them. They only did that just to help Georgia get that 1 spot, saying that they beat a 1 seed. Well, it didn't work because Hendon Hooker got injured and Tennessee fell apart after that. Blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah. They took no risk. No risk. They just went with the media. That's all they did. The media. They took the media and LA, pretty much. No, actually, I guess they didn't really agree with LA that much anyway, because LA had Alabama favored over every one of these teams except for Georgia. So really, LA had Georgia 1, Alabama 2, Michigan 3, and Ohio State. Or Georgia 1, Alabama 2, Michigan 3, TCU 4, and Ohio State would be left out. Or I'd probably have Ohio State 4, TCU left out. Anyway, yeah, there's that. Here's my top 25 recap for you. Yeah, or top 25 recap. What am I even saying? Hold on, give me a second. Let me fix my graphic real quick. Got the wrong one up there. There we go. Yeah, here's my top 25. You can compare them. I gotta say, well done. They finally caught up with me. Or top 10, a little of a mess. The others, they agree with me. Yeah, so it's weird how there's so many 2-loss teams in the top 10 that are kind of just cannonballing each other and just beating themselves up, that it's really hard to tell who the top teams are right at this moment. And you can see, if you look at my rankings, you see a lot of ups and downs. I kind of reevaluated the teams and really figured and look at their resume, who they beat, who they played, and all that good jam stuff. And I just really felt that the way Clemson beat North Carolina, they looked like a true playoff team. They were to have one more win, they would be. I don't think they would. If they would have had like one more win and not have that one loss, I forgot who their other one loss was, but they would have guaranteed that they would have that spot over TCU. Penn State, amazing job. Utah beat USC. Obviously, they're going to be ahead of USC. Alabama, I mean, yeah, their 2 wins can get in the last play, but they're also games they should have won. Also, their best win is Texas. Yeah, they're number 20 in the CFP. They're 18 on mine. Texas is still Texas, so yeah, that honestly, I'm surprised I still have Alabama in my top 10. No, even I was like, I said that I'm surprised they're in the top 10. They're in the top 5 in the CFP. That's how overrated Alabama is right now. And I got Kansas State winning the Big 12. I'll give them credit for that. A big jump in my rankings. They're 10 now. Tennessee, I got them at 11. The injuries are hurting them, and it's hurting them bad. And honestly, you can see, look at, they got Tennessee at 6, Clemson at 7. I'll give them respect, okay. But honestly, the disrespect right there. Clemson probably had one of their best games of the year, and you put them below Tennessee. Utah beat no one off the team, put up nearly 50 points on them, and shut their offense down. Yeah, behind Tennessee, also behind Clemson. Yeah, Kansas State beating number 3 team. Yeah, put them. I mean, yeah, I guess I agree with that. USC, wow, they're all the way down to 10. All right, no, they really don't have much respect for USC there, I guess. So I guess that's that. We agree with Washington, obviously. Florida State, I agree with them. Oregon State, I agree. Oregon, we agree. Tulane, we agree. LSU, why are they that high? They got like 4 losses now. Oh my goodness. South Carolina, I think I'm at 19. I got them at 17. Close. I already said Texas, pretty close. Notre Dame, close. UCLA, yeah, right there, close. Mississippi State. Hey, hear me. I guess I'm a little tired right now. I guess I've been talking a lot. Yeah. They're at 22. Mississippi State, 22. I got them 21, close. Illinois. I got them at 22. They're not even considered ranked. That's what I'm least with. I think, and again, I said it last week, I have more respect for Illinois over NC State. The CFP has a lot more respect than NC State. Obviously, and, you know, winning their conference gets you likely a spot. UTSA, Troy, I felt really confident and that they're going to be ranked after those big wins. And it was not like, oh, they won it close. They won it big. Double-digit wins for both of them. And I honestly, I kind of feel like the CFP, not only do they agree with me that we're on the same page, but they put Troy over UTSA, who UTSA I've talked about a couple times this year. Not even talked about Troy at all this year. They put ahead UCSA, who honestly I think that UCSA had the better game. Troy lost on a Hail Mary to App State. I don't even think they made a bowl game after beating A&M. Really, yeah. Well, there's top 25. They're gonna take a both done screenshot. Whatever. I'll likely get back to this on Down and Distance here later in the show. But right now, let's go to New York Six Bowls real quick, and then I'm gonna take a short break. All right. Tennessee, Clemson. Yeah, it's the Orange Bowl. And guess what? It's orange teams. Makes perfect sense for these two. 6 versus 7. Boy, this is going to be a big game. December 30th at 7 o'clock. Boy, this Orange Bowl is going to be really fun to watch. Honestly, I cannot wait to see this one. Because, well, it's obviously because, I have Clemson ahead of Tennessee in my rankings. But this game really proved, if Clemson, I better hope that Clemson shows up in this game. If they play like the way they played in the ACC Championship game against North Carolina, if they show up and play that QB, they're gonna win this ball game for sure. Tennessee, now, very likely they're gonna be without Henniker. I don't think they'll get him ready in time. Yeah, that was quite a season-ending injury, and it's quite possible that, Tennessee is going to their best bowl game they've had in a long time. Josh Heupel doing a great job. But, after the ending of the year they had, disappointing year, I would not be surprised if players option out. I hope they don't. To me, when players option out, it shows that they're not a team player. You're letting your teammates down. A chance for, future players at the school, ones that are going to be stars next year on the team, they have a chance to trophy. You're going to let them down. That doesn't earn me. If I was an NFL scout, that actually hurt. To me, that hurts you. I know you're... you don't want to get injured, but football is a game of risk. Alright? Take a chance. Get injured, you'll recover. I hope. But very, very unlikely you'll get injured in this game. You would rather not sit out a game that potentially very low chance you getting injured than hurting a chance of being a star at the NFL, than hurting by stabbing your teammates in the back. I'm not really saying that. Sorry, that's a little too aggressive, but just hurting your teammates, letting your teammates down. Alright, next game. Alabama Crimson Tide! Kansas State, 5-9. Guess what? Sugar Bowl! We go! Red, purple, December 31st, 11 a.m. It's gonna be quite a ball game, and I gotta say if Kansas, I honestly think that even though Kansas State did show out and beat TCU, both these two teams will show up. I honestly think that Kansas State will for sure show up. They're in a big ball game, no doubt. They will show up. The question is, I'm kind of just like I am with Tennessee. Alabama, it's hard to... Now, I know that Nick Saban, he'll be mad if you lose this game. They're Alabama. They don't lose. So, for them to not try, or I shouldn't say not try, but not, show up, for them to not show up, that's just not Nick Saban's way. So, I have a good feeling Nick Saban will get his players to show up, or have a good conversation on convincing them to show up and have no players option out. That's going to be hard to do. But again, who would want to... why would you want to play? If you play for Nick Saban, why would you want to option out? Yeah, you didn't have the seat, but you're still in the Sugar Bowl. You're still playing for a trophy. Sorry, I hit my mic. But yeah, well, why? I don't get that at all. This is going to be a really big game, and I do think we'll see the best of both of them. TCU, Michigan, Fiesta Bowl, December 31st, 3 o'clock ESPN. 3, 2, big bowl game. Now, obviously, a playoff game, so they're both going to show up. The team is who's going to show up more. I honestly think that we will definitely see Michigan. Michigan had problems against Purdue. They'll fix that. I most definitely think they'll fix that. The question is TCU. Now, TCU, if they can get their running game going and keep their offense on the field, TCU's got a shot. Yeah, if TCU can't get anything going offensively, their defense is going to struggle, and their defense is going to try out and how to go this game. So for TCU to win this game, momentum, momentum, momentum. That's all I got to get for TCU. I'll talk more about this game later on as we get closer to it. But yeah, TCU, momentum, momentum, momentum. That's all you need to win that game. The other bowl game, or the other college football playoff game, Ohio State, Georgia, 4-1. Peach Bowl, 31st, 7 o'clock. Big game. I really think, honestly, we'll see the best of Ohio State. Obviously, Georgia struggled to LSU late in the fourth quarter. And I really think the Kirby Smart will get in their head and figure out, all right, we got to play a full fourth quarter because LSU nearly came back. But Ohio State, I think we'll truly see the best Ohio State, yeah. Obviously, Ohio State did not play very good second half of the game. And I honestly think that we will, and I'm getting some more breaking news about Ohio State. Again, with perfect timing! I'm getting more breaking news, and I saw something about Ohio State receiver. Let's see. Reading it right now. Okay, so Ohio State receiver and potential top 10 pick, Jackson Smith, is declaring for the NFL draft and will not play in the college football playoff. Why? Why? But why are players opting now? Okay, so all right, Georgia won. Georgia for sure won. 100%. Enough talk. 12, Tulane, USC, 10. This is the Cotton Bowl. Yep. USC gets Tulane. That is all I got to say about that. I'll talk again as I go deep into these teams. Figure out, again, I just got Ohio State player optioning out their wide receiver. As we get more into next couple of days and throughout the week, more players will option out of these games, and I know no players from Tulane will option out. I'm expecting players from USC to option out, very likely. So I honestly think we'll see the best Tulane we've seen in that game, and honestly, you see the final score against UCF that bottom line. USC, they lose this game. That's gonna. They'll never hear the end of that. All right, Rose Bowl, Penn State, Utah, 11-8. This is gonna be a really great game. Both these two teams. I mean, yeah, Utah had playoff hope. Penn State should have been in the race. They really weren't ever discussed. January 2nd, 4 o'clock, ESPN. And both these two teams will show up. And this is going to be a really fun game to watch. Utah is home, or will feel like a home game. But do not sleep on Penn State. They will show up. It's going to be a really close game. I'm calling it right now. It's going to go to the fourth quarter, or someone's going to win it on the last play. All right, National Championship is Sunday, January 8th. Got a long road to play. Yep, of course, we don't even know what day, who's playing. But, Sunday, January 8th, 6:30, ESPN. It's going to be, I'm predicting, if I were to predict it now, and I can pull up the, I'm pulling it up right now, the playoffs. All right, I'm making my prediction now. Georgia wins. 100%. Michigan wins. So I got Georgia and Michigan championship game. Who am I winning? I have winning Michigan. Yeah, I have Michigan winning the whole thing. 100. Not 100%. I say Michigan wins 70-30, 70%. Yeah, over 30%. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, I'm really gonna plan to talk about do my Slave Report podcast right now, but you can see my graph right there. But I'm gonna take a throat break and get my throat to rest for a couple minutes because I've been talking for an hour straight, and then I'll talk about Slave Report podcast and get straight into down and distance. So I'm gonna take a short break. I will be right back. This is the Slater Report. Three, testing. Okay, there we go. Try this again. This is the Slater Report podcast. Okay. Okay. So obviously, I didn't have time to. Obviously, you know that when I do my Slater Report podcast, my intro thing, the intro thing is pre-recorded, and you have no idea how many takes it took me to do it. And one shot, I was like, okay. I've done it so. I've heard me do it so many times on it, week in, week out, and I've done it so many times that maybe just once I can get it perfect on the first try. Didn't happen. First time I did it, first time of this show, strike out. It cut out my mic. I got a lot of feedback in it. My mic had to quit working. Second time, I was still laughing that, laughing that I had problems with getting this mic working, getting it right and everything. First what I said was like, oh, something wrong or whatever. It was like, I couldn't stop. I was like, well, what am I saying? I totally screwed that up. Anyway, yeah, so this is the short Slay Report podcast episode. I'm going to go real quickly on this one, and then I'm going to jump into Down and Distance. So I hope you like that little break. I had to get my throat a break and also switch up my graphics to the new Down Distance show. And you will not recognize the Down Distance show because I'm using the same graphics that I use for my live thing. So it's gonna have the same. It's gonna have the same feel, same style. It's just the graphics are gonna look different. It's just gonna have the same, but it's gonna have the same feel to it. All right, enough with messing up. Let's jump into the Slay Report podcast, and I gotta say, after what I saw this week, after a crazy, I know I mentioned it earlier in that first show. After a crazy, wild, unexpected, up-season college football season, Week 14 is under wrap, and I gotta say, the most undramatic selection show I've ever seen. I already knew who the 4 teams are gonna be. I already knew the matchup, and I already knew the order. Even though they don't agree with me on the order. I already knew. I mean, you saw my ranking. I'll get to it a little bit, but you saw earlier my rankings for the CFP. That was my rankings. But it did not shock me what they did because I had a good feeling what they were going to do. Because I no way they're going to put Georgia at 1. And I mean, obviously they're going to put Georgia at 1. And even though they didn't mention it, I know no way they're going to have a Ohio State and Michigan rematch. So, I obviously knew who the matchups were going to be. Anyway, yeah, so for this conversation, my rant for Slay Report Podcast is BCS versus the 4-team playoff. That's my rant on this week's episode. Yeah, hi, I'm Braden Slater, your host of Slay Report Podcasts, and yeah, this is going to be a really good talk for you. And you can see right there is that the BCS is this year perfect. You want to know the only 2 undefeated teams left? Yeah, Georgia, Michigan, boom, right there, BCS. And that easy, right there. Oh, and obviously my panel graphics, I didn't update that one, but yeah, it still says CFP. Anyway, yeah, it's still the same show. Anyway, yeah, Georgia, obviously number 1, Michigan 2, or really, they should have been played each other for a number 1 spot. This has been a perfect year for the BCS. Can we go back to that, please? The playoffs really haven't been successful, in my point of view, based on, because next year would actually be 10 years, so I'm sure that ESPN would do something special next year for 10 years of the playoffs. But out of so far, so this is the 9 years. So far out of the 8 years of the playoffs, I've only seen like maybe 2 or 3 upsets or like surprising things in the playoffs. But, you know, if you know the playoff for the last, I mean, this is the first year Clemson and Alabama are not in the playoffs. Either not together, but we've always had Clemson and or Alabama in the playoffs. The first time they're both out of it at the same time. The history of the playoff in this 9 years. Yeah. So we finally got new teams in, and also it doesn't help because should have been the BCS year, and honestly. The playoffs have kind of ruined college football because players are opting out. Obviously, Ohio State's receiver, you heard me talk about it earlier, top 10 player. Yeah, he opted out of the playoff game for the NFL. I don't understand that at all. You're in the playoff. Why? Why would you do that? I just do not get that at all. Well, why? Anyway, yeah. So, So in the start of the 20, so we're actually gonna have next year will be the last year of the next season will be the last year of the 14 playoff, and then the 12-team playoff will take effect in the 2024 season. So we'll see if that works and that helps not only keep players from opting out, but makes it really compatible, bring the drama and hype back into postseason football. But as I'm on this topic, is it possible that we could do like a custom playoff every year based off the season? Like this year, we could just do 1 versus 2. I mean, okay, so yeah, if TCU would have won the Big 12, yeah, sure, the 14 playoff would have been perfect for this year, but TCU lost. You only had 2 undefeated teams left. BCS, 1 versus 2. No playoff needed. Obviously, some years where we may have maybe 2 or 3 undefeated teams, and maybe a bunch of 1-loss teams, or maybe kind of like this where we have just 2. If we have a year where it comes down to 2 undefeated teams, or maybe just 1 undefeated team left, and a bunch of 1-loss teams who had in their 1 losses is a top 10 team or a ranked team, then yeah, we'll do a playoff, and then we'll do it, the playoff, biggest, probably all the way up to 12, we'll do the playoff all the way up, the limit is 12 teams, we'll do that, and we'll always have an even amount of teams in the playoff thing. So 1 year we could do 8 teams, if we really felt 8 teams deserve a playoff chance. We'll do 12 teams, get that a shot, we'll get that a shot in 2 years, maybe, I don't know, maybe we felt like maybe 6 teams deserve it. Yeah, I mean, it's quite possible we'll have a year where no one's undefeated, and we'll need probably 8 teams or 6 teams or all 12 teams to fill the spot. That make it really interesting. I honestly think that maybe we can look forward to it and to maybe developing a custom playoff each year for in the future. I think that I mean, well, I'll just have to. That's just my input. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold on that thought until I see how this year playoff goes with the way that it turned out this year. And also, I want to see the first year. Honestly, I'm taking to bring this up every year. But since I kind of until I don't like this idea anymore, I'm going to talk about this every year. So it might get annoying. But yeah, until I get a sense of watch this 12-team playoff, I think maybe a custom playoff every year, or like really kind of develop one based on who deserves it, is the best. Anyway, yeah, enough about that. Let's jump into our 6 o'clock show. Yeah, here at 2 o'clock. It's down and distant time. It's Monday, December 5th. Welcome to Down and Distance here on a great Monday. Final results. College football regular season is over. Conference play, or a conference championship for this Saturday. And boy, did it give us something to dramatic about. This is Down and Distance. Let's jump in to our game of the week. Kansas State, TCU. Boy, the Big 12 gave us a show. Overtime. I honestly think it should have gone to double overtime. K-State ended up winning that 31-28. Round of applause. What a show. I gotta give K-State credit for coming out that win. And honestly, I'll talk about that in a minute. But I actually did have if you don't believe me, I'll show you a little bit. But I actually did have Kansas State winning that game. It's hard to beat the same team twice in one season. Utah did that. So far, they're the only one to play the same team, but other than K-State, TCU couldn't do that. And honestly, TCU should win that game. They blew it. I think it's really officials' fault, but you can't mainly blame on officials because TCU had multiple changes, not just that one 3rd and goal. And also that 4th and goal was a stupid play call that I don't agree with whatsoever. Anyway, Pac-12, another huge upset. Utah, USC. Who's getting the Pac-12 championship? 47-24 went to Utah. Yet knocking USC out of the playoffs and putting Utah in the Rose Bowl against Penn State. Boy, was that a game. Also, Toledo took down Ohio 17-7. North Texas got destroyed to UTSA 48-27 and is now ranked at 25. I'll talk about Troy here in a minute, the Sun Belt, but some more Power 5. Number 14, LSU, had a late game 4th quarter comeback against Georgia in the SEC Championship. Not enough. 50-30 was the final score. Also, Purdue gave Michigan a scare. I say majority of the game. Michigan's really a second-half team, I'll say that. But I think the 4th quarter, just like Michigan, took over the game, won 43-22. All right, Clemson. It looked like a playoff team there. Won 39-10 over North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina's got a really great offense. They put together quite a team. Sam Howell, great quarterback. 1 touchdown the whole game. Only 10 points. Clemson, 39 points. Not only was their defense amazing, they scored 39 points. They put their backup QB in the 3rd position, and they look like a playoff team they meant to be all season long. UCF, American Conference, got destroyed. Kind of, really. Yeah, to me it was an upset. Got destroyed to Tulane. 45-28. And also, Coastal Carolina. I also had them winning. Didn't work out for me. Troy, number 24 in the CFP now. They're up 45-26. How they won that game. And then Boise State got destroyed, or kind of got destroyed. They were home in their conference championship game. Home field advantage. They lost 28-16. Playoff talk now. sorry, pick'em talk. Sorry. Let's jump into my. I don't even have my thing pulled up yet. Here, hold on. Let me get it pulled up. I don't know why I didn't have this pulled up already. Anyway, my internet. Oh, my internet's usually pretty fast, but it wants to be slow all of a sudden now. Oh, I guess because I'm going live. But anyway, it will load in just a second. But yeah, it's pick'em time. Let's go over the pickup. So, we got a big one. Or this is the final results for you right here. Yep. 5-5 this week, even. So, I guess that ends my season 75 and 63. I'll take it. 427 points total. Yeah. Total, I guess, 57 points in a Kansas State TCU game. 59. Not bad. My internet's still loading again. I guess the only way for it to get to load is I probably have to pull it up on my other device. Give me just a minute on it. Oh, my iPad is dead. Okay, so onto my phone now, which is probably likely won't be able to pull it up either. Let's see here. Sorry, I completely forgot about this. I need to pull it up anyway to know what I was gonna talk about in this, but yeah, what? Wow, 75-60. I'm glad that's over. Yeah, it's not even gonna load for me. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Wow. Give me just a second. I'm gonna fix this real quick for me. Pick there we go. All right, now okay, I'm in now. All right, so yeah, obviously you can see it from right there. 5-5. I gotta say, I started the season really strong. Ended not so much. All right, you know how I always do this. I go by confidence. I rank them on confidence. I actually had UCF winning at 1. Great pick for me. I put them low. Coastal Carolina, I also put them low. Boise State also pulled. Wow, 3 straight losses. I found that being low. Kansas State won it for me. UTSA won it for me. Ohio let me down. Clemson won it for me. Why in the world? I honestly really thought that UCLA would win that game. Come on, UC. All right, or SC, sorry. Georgia won it for me, Michigan. So, honestly, looking at this, I didn't do that bad. I got 35 points this week. So, honestly, going 5-5, getting 35 points. The losses are in the lower games. I'll take that. That's a win for me this week. Because, honestly, don't look at it until I need to figure out how to show my screen. I'll work on that probably for next show or next year when I do this. But yeah, no, that's the great thing about this. The Go Inline the software I use. I could probably show my screen. You can see what I'm looking at, and I wish I thought that earlier. Anyway, spread, which I really didn't feel confident mid-season, but I started to make a little comeback. So here it is, the spread. Oh, 4-6. Great. 40 points. Not bad. 63-76. 630 points. I actually picked 55 points. Total combined points in Kansas State TCU game. Of course, it was 59 points. So, week 1, right on the money. Week 14, last week, I was 4 points off. What in the world was that? Wow. Why can't I do that every week? I mean, that close, just 4 points off. I'll take it. That's a big win. I'll take that win for me. I'll take 4-6 any day if I get that close to getting the total combined points. I knew it was gonna be a high scoring game. I think the over under was maybe, I think it was 60.5. I'm not sure. It was pretty high. Anyway, yeah, I probably would have gone with the under, but wow, that was pretty close. But yeah, spread real quickly because last time I'm about to talk about this because I don't want to do this ever again, which likely I will because I like doing it for some reason. The Roadrunners did it for me. 8.5-point favored. Got it. USC, I honestly really, they were a 2.5-point favorite. I was honestly really thought that both the two schools are run on offense. They hardly go for field goals. Touchdown's a long shot. Or a field goal is a long shot. So it's like, one of these two teams is going to win by, if it's going to come down the wire, it would be 7 points. Or 6 points. Really, that close. I really didn't think it would come down to 3 points. Honestly, wish I picked Utah now. Kansas State done it for me. Ohio let me down. Yeah, I thought they were getting, not only did I pick them, I thought they had outran. Coastal Carolina did the same. LSU, 16.5-point favorite. Oh my goodness. If LSU, I would have covered for that if LSU didn't block that field goal and return it for a touchdown. I'm so mad about that. I would have covered off of that one. That actually helped Georgia's helped them. It actually makes LSU look worse and make Georgia look better off that. If that didn't happen, it would have been a lot closer game than it was. UCF let me down. Boise State let me down. Michigan got it for me. Clemson got it for me. Yeah, that's that. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm just glad to see that's over. Anyway, it's time for my favorite talking point of the year: overrated and underrated. Yeah, well, this is a cool graphic I got for you that I put together. Who is my, it doesn't flash, this graphic doesn't flash, but I can bring them at one at a time like I did on my YouTube video, or my other editing video, who is this week's overrated team? And by the way, I'm going to do it, the season finale version of it next year, because I do this, when I do this, I do it based off of this week, alright, based off the current week. So, and I'm going to do one, next week for the whole entire season based off of preseason hype and postseason and how they did the postseason. So yeah. So overrated team is USC. Yeah, it's hard to beat the same team twice. I would thought that USC was gonna they had the playoff handed to them. They lost. They blew it. That's all I gotta say about that. Boy, why? Honestly, I'm happy about that. Good job, Utah. Great effort. Yeah, who's my underrated team? Troy. I mean, I really wish I talked about them more. And honestly, I barely watched that. There were a lot more better conference games that I barely even watched that game. So I still haven't even seen a Troy game. But based on what I heard, and they're ranked 24 out of 25 my rankings, I gotta say they're underrated. But I mean, I honestly, I'm 2 for 1. UTSA is underrated too. You could put the UTSA in there too. But yeah, Troy is underrated. USC is overrated. That's all I got to say about that. Playoff talk now! Playoff prediction time! Well, actually, that's usually what I do. But the rankings are out now, so go ahead. There's my prediction. Got the matchup right. Clemson, Penn State, blah, blah, blah. After that. The official playoffs are out. Here it is. And wow! I don't know, I'm clapping. Not much drama building into this. We all know Georgia's going to be 1. Michigan, Wisconsin's going to be 2. I mean, the media built the drama thinking Ohio State may be 3, and TCU may be 4, and maybe Class build the Alabama can take TCU's spot at 4, and we'll get the game rematch. But, I mean, honestly, if you look at mine, I mean, I had the same matchup, it's just flipped. That's it. And then 5-6, I don't agree with that at all. Don't even look at 5 and 6. Alabama's not up there. They're gone. They're out of the playoffs. Tennessee, don't even have their Heisman Trophy anymore. They're out of there. Bye. Or just looking at the top 4. So here's your playoff for you here. Georgia, Ohio State in the Peach Bowl, 7 o'clock ESPN. I am waiting to see. The lines are out. I will talk more about that later on in the week as we get closer, because I think likely it'll shift some more as we go throughout the week. And Michigan, TCU in the Fiesta Bowl, 3 o'clock on ESPN. Championship game January 9th at 6:30. National Championship, ESPN. You can see the CFP top 10. Let me pull up the full top 25. Mine in the CFP. You can see it right there. Go over mine. If you actually, you can see it right there. Quick look at it. If you want, I'm not going to go a deep dive because I'm already at 2:30. I'm actually trying to get 5 minutes left of this show. So, yeah, because my limit on this is 2:30. So, yeah, if you want to see my full discussion about these two rankings, watch the CFP from earlier when I talked about this earlier. All right, I got to quickly wrap up this show. But, yeah, there's the top 25. Big game, down distance. Yeah, I wanted to get my down distance segment in. I know this is a short episode, but I gotta get them in. And no NFL talk. This is all college football. The rankings are out. But yeah, there it is. Top 25. Yeah, the only thing, I'm really not shocked about it at all. But honestly, they don't agree with me at all. I think the most shocking one is LSU. That's the only thing that shocks me the most of these two rankings side by side. Army-Navy game. Or Navy-Army is what it is. Sorry. Navy-Army is this Saturday. 2 o'clock CBS. If Army wins this game, well, the bowl games are already set. So, if Army wins this game, they're still not going to a bowl game. Sorry, Army. Sorry. Navy. No. Is this the first time that either one of these two are not in the play? Air Force is going to the bowl game. I saw that they're actually playing Baylor, and I'm gonna have a full bowl game breakdown coming the next couple of weeks, and also as we get closer next week, I think later on this week. Well, as you go to the busiest sports website and go to the schedule, I have most of it playing out, and it's subject to change, but you can see right there, and I have the description for it when I plan to talk about all the playoffs, but I'm still deciding, and I gotta get all the, take a good look at all the bowl games, get waiting for players to option out totally, and get it all together before I go deep dive into each of these bowl games. But yeah, I'll make my prediction on American Game Day Saturday. That's gonna be a really good game to watch, like always. All right, and January 1st, new schedule coming into play. Yep, here's my new busy sports schedule, and you can all see it right there. Yeah, hot seat. Hot seat. First Monday of every month. Yeah, obviously, it's obviously not gonna be tonight because I was playing for tonight at 6 o'clock, but I want to make sure that this is a great show. And honestly, I don't have time to, because normally when I record Hot Seat is usually the time that it took me to record this and get it edited. So obviously I have no time to get it done now. So I'm actually moving it to next week. But the great thing about it is, and I know I moved Hot Seat a couple of times throughout this college football season because down and distance is Slateport has gotten away, mainly down and distance. So without that, actually starting Tuesday, or January, the first Tuesday of January, Down and Distance is actually moving to a new day. It's going to be a Tuesday now. Give me time to get a great Slateport podcast. And next college football season, Slateport podcast will be live nearly every week. Nearly every show it will be live. Yeah, I won't say, I'm not guaranteed it will be live every single episode and every single week, It just depends on what I got planned that week. Anyway, I'm not looking at but again, that's next year. Anyway, yeah, and Hot Seat, first play of I'm gonna, work on Slamboard podcast, then Hot Seat, obviously, or since mainly to have a whole week and get more planned out and get Hot Seat. I want to do it get it done earlier, but also it's more of wait. The kind of show it is. I have to wait and see what the news comes for, and I haven't been talking more about me talking about coaches getting firing and hiring and putting coaches on the spot and people about the coaching staff. And more about that show. I haven't really talked about that much anyway because I was saving it for that show with a lot happening. And I'm just waiting for more to happen so I can have a full show to talk about. And with me moving that back to it will be next Monday. It will be. It's going to be a great one. I'm going to actually be working on that this next couple of days. Down this, I mentioned already, moving to Tuesday. Couple reaction shows. Still going to be Wednesday because, it comes out on Tuesday, so the next day. Hardwood Hoops. I didn't like the Friday spot. I feel like because it calls basketball, there's a lot of college basketball games on Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesday and Saturday are their two big days. So I feel like Hardwood Hoops is a great, pre-night show, or really a great middle of the week show, as I kind of like to call it. And also the NBA, kind of, because I talk about the NBA a lot. I'll start talking about, we call it football ending now, I'll start talking about the NBA a lot now on American Game Day. So, talking about college on weekdays now, I think Wednesday is a good spot for it than talking about it for 2 straight days back to back on Friday. So, yeah. And also, baseball, in the spring come around there, it's really the postseason. So, College World Series, Softball World Series, is when that show will be on. It'll be on Thursday, every Thursday during those postseasons, and also the Major League. So basically, be college, women's, and men, and pro Major League Baseball postseason when the shows be on the Thursday. And with that, with Howard Hoops done on Friday anymore, I don't have a designated active show for Friday anymore. That actually gives me more time to work on American Game Day on Saturday, which is still on Saturday. Alright, and you can see that coming soon. You can see a bunch of episodes that I'm planning on working on. Actually, you can see on Sunday, Cover is a new betting show I'm working on. And I'm trying to get it ready to go for next college football season. And also, The Scoop, quite possibly on Friday. Maybe next college football season, we'll see how it goes. But I'm leaning towards Cover starting next college football season. All right. Thanks for watching this amazing show. That was quite, what is it, an hour and a half? Yeah, it's been an hour and 40 minutes on my time slant. But that's right when I hit go live. But I kind of did it about 5 minutes early. So about an hour and 35 minutes. I've been on the air. That's quite a long time. So, thank you for watching Down the Distance, and hold on, let me and thank you for watching College Football Rankings Reaction Show, because that's really this main show, but thank you for watching. I hope you like this reaction. I got another graphic for you. Hold on, give me just a second. Coming up next, Howard Hoops, Friday, 6 o'clock, gonna be a great show. Cannot wait. Ooh, wrong button. All right. Thanks for Rose Bowl. Wrong guy. Sorry. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time here on YouTube.